Anime games are kind of a letdown lately. Have you ever felt like anime games lost their magic? Like that unique vibe that made you feel like you were actually part of the world of your favorite anime? Yeah, it feels like that's happening less and less. Let's talk about what's going on. Welcome to Games Insights. I'm Arthur. Remember when playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm or Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi felt like you were reliving the best moments of the anime? Every move, every detail, everything was so well done, it made you want to replay just to feel that rush again. But in recent years, it seems like things have changed. Anime games are starting to feel like they're all copies of each other, and it's not just you who's noticing this. Let's figure out what's going on. In the past, anime games were much more than just adaptations of the original material. They were creative experiences that expanded the universe of the work and brought something truly unique for fans. Take Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, for example. It defined an entire generation and is still considered one of the best anime games of all time. It introduced a more open combat style, moving away from the fixed camera of games like Mortal Kombat. Plus, it featured tons of characters and a variety of free skins to choose from. But it wasn't just about the quantity. Each character seemed to be carefully recreated with unique moves, powers, and even personalized interactions that directly connected to the anime. It felt like playing an interactive version of the series. Another great example is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 5. Not only did it deliver graphics that looked like they were straight out of the anime, but it also offered gameplay that balanced intense combat with cinematic moments. It even introduced a brand new open-world mode, which was revolutionary for the genre. Every fight felt unique with animations and finishers that made players feel like they were part of a decisive battle. Even lesser-known games like Digimon Online introduced innovative mechanics for their time, such as online player interaction and creature management, in a format that combined RPG elements with exploration. These games aimed to capture the essence of what made each anime special, creating something that stood out on its own merits rather than relying solely on the franchise's appeal. Additionally, these titles often explored new technologies to enhance the experience. Think about how Dragon Ball Sagas introduced an open-world exploration element, which was a fresh addition to the franchise. It allowed players to truly feel like they were immersed in the anime universe, rather than just battling in repetitive arenas. This drive for innovation made each release highly anticipated, winning over both hardcore fans and general audiences alike. Today, the industry seems to have lost that special touch. Many recent anime games feel like products designed to check off a list: good graphics? Check. Popular characters? Check. But when it comes to delivering surprising gameplay or innovative systems, they fall short. And of course, they have to include microtransactions, right? Let me give you some examples and you'll see what I mean. Take Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Even though it's based on one of the most popular anime right now, the mechanics feel like something we've seen dozens of times before. It's just another arena fighter with basic controls and abilities that barely differ between characters. There's no real sense of identity for the player. This stands in stark contrast to older titles, where each character had a distinct playstyle and details that reflected their personality from the anime. The same goes for Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles. While the game was praised for its stunning visuals, the gameplay faced criticism for being extremely basic and repetitive. Many players described the experience as watching the anime while pressing a few buttons, since most of the effort seemed to go into recreating scenes rather than offering something interactive and challenging. We could easily add more anime games to this list of copy-paste titles: My Hero Academia games, One Piece games, the newer Dragon Ball games, Saint Seiya games. The list goes on and on. So many of them feel almost identical. On top of that, the campaigns in these games rarely bring anything new for fans. They just retell the events of the anime without adding fresh narrative elements or unique perspectives. This approach not only discourages players who already know the story, but also wastes the potential of games as a way to expand the series' universe. Another recurring issue is the superficial character design. Instead of investing in unique abilities and varied gameplay, many games reduce characters to generic versions of themselves, with minimal differences beyond appearance. This results in a less rewarding experience, where switching between characters feels more like swapping skins than making a meaningful gameplay change. It gives the impression that these games aren't made to please players, but to quickly capitalize on the anime's success. Where there was once an effort to create memorable experiences, the focus now seems to be on releasing products that sell well in the short term, even if it means sacrificing quality and innovation. Another critical point is the price. Many of these games are being sold for $60. Yes, $60 in the US. And depending on your local currency, it could vary. But still, it's a lot. That's the same price as AAA games like Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok. The difference? Anime games often have less content, lower quality, and very little replay value. The price just doesn't match the experience being offered. Charging full price for games of this caliber feels like a slap in the face to the audience. The issue that bothers players the most is the feeling of being treated as just a ready-made fan base willing to spend money. Since anime has incredibly passionate communities, it seems companies are exploiting that passion to the max, delivering mediocre products knowing they'll sell anyway. Instead of surprising fans with something unique, the industry sticks to generic formulas that prioritize quick profits over quality. And that's not just frustrating, it's disrespectful to those who grew up with these anime and hope to see their love translated into games as good as the stories that inspired them. But hey, the situation can still turn around. Despite this rough patch for anime games, there's hope that the industry can reinvent itself. The growing dissatisfaction among players and frequent criticism could act as a wake-up call for developers and publishers. After all, anime games have always had a loyal and passionate audience, but nostalgia alone isn't enough to keep them engaged. One way to change the game is to invest in innovation. The success of titles like Dragon Ball FighterZ proved that unique mechanics can pay off. This game took an established genre, 2D fighting, and elevated it to a whole new level, offering competitive combat, stunning visuals, and mechanics that were accessible yet challenging. The reception was so positive that it quickly became one of the top fighting games in esports, winning over both anime fans and gamers who had never followed Goku's saga. Another potential solution is focusing on deeper, more distinctive gameplay mechanics. Instead of just retelling anime stories, developers could create original narratives or explore parts of the universe that weren't shown in the source material. This would give players a real reason to dive into the game, even if they're already familiar with the characters and settings. Naruto. The Broken Bond is a great example from the past, offering a story that expanded the franchise's universe with new but consistent elements, giving fans something fresh and engaging. Another crucial point is the price. Games priced at $60 need to justify their cost with rich content, polished mechanics, and unique experiences. Many players have voiced their frustration with paying premium prices for anime games that feature repetitive gameplay and short campaigns, especially when there are similarly priced AAA games that deliver far more complete experiences. A more accessible pricing approach might help regain the trust of the audience. The community also plays a key role in driving this change. Anime and gaming fans have shown they're willing to support high-quality titles, even if they're not direct adaptations of major franchises. This opens the door for smaller games developed by indie studios, which often bring fresh and surprising ideas to the table. Indie titles have proven that innovation and passion can surpass the appeal of big-name brands, and this shift might push larger companies to rethink their strategies. It's essential for companies to start seeing players as more than just consumers. The anime gaming audience is made up of passionate fans who want their favorite franchises treated with the respect and dedication they deserve. When developers put players at the center of the creative process, the results are almost always positive. The anime gaming industry has everything it needs to shine, but only if it stops treating fans as guaranteed profit and starts focusing on the experiences these games can offer. So, what do you think? Are anime games losing their charm? What was the last anime game that really blew your mind? Let us know in the comments, and let's talk about it. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can keep diving into everything happening in the gaming world.